Chapter 7. Managing and Protecting Your Art Investment. In Chapter 7, we'll dive into the critical aspects of art investment management, including how to preserve and ensure your collection, the importance of maintaining proper documentation, and the best strategies for caring for your artwork to ensure it continues to appreciate in value over time. If you want your art investment to stand the test of time, both financially and physically, this chapter will provide you with all the tools and knowledge you need. Let's get started on how to manage and protect your art collection the right way. Preserving your art investment. One of the most important aspects of managing your art investment is ensuring its preservation. Art, like any tangible asset, requires care and attention to maintain its condition and value. Over time, exposure to light, temperature changes, and even air quality can cause deterioration in artworks, especially paintings, sculptures, and works on paper. To begin, it's essential to control the environment in which your art is stored or displayed. Temperature fluctuations and excessive humidity are two of the most common causes of art damage. Works on paper, such as drawings and prints, are particularly vulnerable to changes in moisture levels, which can cause warping, fading, or even mold growth. For paintings, it's important to maintain a stable temperature, usually between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and relative humidity levels around 50%. In addition, lighting should be controlled. Direct sunlight can cause colors to fade and materials to break down over time. That's why it's recommended to hang art in areas with indirect natural light or use UV protective glass to shield works from harmful rays. If you're storing pieces away from your home or gallery, consider using climate-controlled storage. Many professional storage facilities offer services that protect artwork from temperature, humidity, and physical damage. Insurance for art investments. Another crucial step in managing your art investment is ensuring it is properly insured. Art is a valuable asset, and like any valuable asset, it's vulnerable to a range of risks, from theft to accidental damage to natural disasters. Insurance helps mitigate those risks and ensures that if something were to happen to your collection, you're financially protected. When it comes to insuring your art, standard homeowners or renters insurance usually doesn't offer sufficient coverage. That's why it's important to invest in a specialized art insurance policy. These policies are specifically designed to cover the unique risks associated with owning high-value artwork, whether it's in your home, a storage facility, or at an exhibition. The first step in insuring your art is having a professional appraisal done. An appraiser will assess the value of each piece in your collection, taking into account its market value, condition, provenance, and historical significance. The appraisal ensures that you're insuring your art for its correct value and not underestimating or overestimating its worth. Once you have an appraisal, you can work with your insurer to establish an appropriate level of coverage. You'll need to decide whether to go with actual cash value, ACV, or replacement cost insurance. ACV will reimburse you based on the current market value of the artwork at the time of the claim, while replacement cost insurance will cover the full cost of replacing the artwork. Another important consideration is whether to include worldwide coverage in your policy. This ensures that if your artwork is lost, stolen, or damaged while traveling or during transit, it will still be covered. In addition, many art insurance policies will cover the transportation costs, which can be significant when shipping valuable pieces. Documentation and provenance. Another key element of managing your art investment is ensuring that your collection is properly documented. Having comprehensive documentation for each piece not only helps maintain its value, but it's also crucial for legal and insurance purposes. Whether you're dealing with acquisitions, sales, or insurance claims, accurate and detailed records are essential. The most important document for any artwork is the provenance, which is the history of the artwork's ownership. Provenance helps establish the authenticity of the piece and can significantly affect its value. It proves that the artwork is genuine and not stolen or forged. It also serves as a record of who has owned the artwork, which can impact its historical and market value. When buying or selling art, always request provenance documentation from the seller. This documentation may include exhibition records, previous sales, and any other relevant information about the work's ownership. Provenance can increase an artwork's value, so it's essential that you keep detailed and up-to-date records for every piece in your collection. In addition to provenance, ensure that all pieces are accompanied by appraisals and authenticity certificates. This helps establish the true value of the artwork for insurance purposes and provides legal backing should any disputes arise. These certificates verify that the artwork is authentic, and they should be updated regularly, especially if the piece has been restored or repaired. Keep all of this documentation in a secure and easily accessible location, preferably in a digital format as well. Many art collectors now opt to store records electronically, which makes it easier to manage large collections and share information with insurers, galleries, or potential buyers. The legal aspects of owning and selling art. Owning art as an investment also comes with a series of legal considerations. Understanding the legal aspects of art ownership and transactions is vital to protecting your investment. From intellectual property rights to taxes, there are many legal elements to consider. One of the first legal considerations is intellectual property. While owning a physical piece of art gives you the right to display or resell it, it doesn't grant you the copyright to the work. Copyright is usually retained by the artist or their estate, which means you can't legally reproduce or alter the artwork without permission. Understanding the rights associated with the work is important to avoid potential legal issues, especially if you plan on using the artwork for commercial purposes. Another important legal aspect is taxation. Art is subject to various taxes, including capital gains tax when sold for a profit. However, the tax treatment of art varies significantly by jurisdiction, so it's crucial to work with a tax professional who specializes in art investments. Tax laws can also affect how art is passed down in an estate. Many countries have inheritance taxes or estate taxes, so planning for the transfer of your art collection is a smart move to avoid hefty tax liabilities in the future. Contracts are also essential in the buying and selling process. Whether you're buying art from a gallery, auction house, or directly from an artist, always ensure that you have a written contract outlining the terms of the transaction. This helps protect both the buyer and seller by clearly defining the terms of sale, including payment, delivery, and any warranties or guarantees. If you plan to sell any of your artworks, make sure that the sale is conducted according to local laws. Some countries have strict regulations governing the export and sale of art, especially cultural artifacts. Be aware of these regulations to avoid potential legal disputes over ownership or export restrictions. Understanding the legal aspects of owning and selling art is essential for protecting your investment. Whether it's intellectual property rights, taxes, or contracts, having a strong legal foundation is key to ensuring your art remains a valuable asset. Legal complexities can arise in many areas of art ownership, so understanding your rights and responsibilities is crucial for long-term success in the art market. One particularly important area is intellectual property. As an art investor, it's vital to understand the distinction between owning a piece of artwork and owning the copyright associated with it. Copyright is a form of legal protection granted to the creator of the artwork, and it generally remains with the artist or their estate after the sale of the work. This means that while you may own the physical piece, you do not have the rights to reproduce it, create derivative works, or display it publicly in certain ways without permission from the copyright holder. This can be especially important if you're looking to use images of your collection for marketing purposes, or if you want to create commercial products based on your art. Unauthorized reproduction of copyrighted art can lead to lawsuits, so always ensure that you have the proper permissions if you plan to do anything beyond private display or resale. Taxation is another area that investors need to be prepared for. The tax implications of buying, holding, and selling art can be significant. In many jurisdictions, art is subject to capital gains tax when it is sold for a profit. This means that when you sell a piece of art at a higher price than what you paid for it, you may need to pay taxes on the appreciation. The rate of taxation will depend on the country's laws and whether the piece is classified as a collectible. Additionally, many countries have estate and inheritance taxes, which can apply to art collections that are passed down to heirs. If your collection is valuable, these taxes can represent a considerable portion of its value, so proper estate planning and consultation with a tax professional is critical. Contracts are also essential when buying or selling art. Art transactions can involve complex legal agreements, and having a clearly written contract can protect both the buyer and seller. This includes agreements on payment, delivery, warranties of authenticity, and potential returns. Whether you're buying from a gallery, an auction house, or directly from an artist, always ensure that the terms of the transaction are clearly laid out and agreed upon in writing. A contract can prevent misunderstandings and disputes down the line, ensuring a smooth process for both parties. Another consideration in legal management is the sale or resale of your art. When you decide to sell an artwork, you'll need to follow the relevant regulations for art sales, especially when the art crosses borders. Some countries have export restrictions on art, particularly cultural heritage items. This means you can't legally sell or export certain artworks without the proper documentation and permits. Failing to comply with these regulations can result in the artwork being confiscated and legal penalties, so always be aware of the legal landscape in the country where you plan to sell or ship your artwork. To summarize, managing the legal aspects of art ownership requires awareness of intellectual property, taxes, contracts, and export regulations. Having the right legal protections in place ensures your investment is not only secure but also legally compliant. In conclusion, managing and protecting your art investment is a multifaceted process that requires attention to both the physical care and legal considerations surrounding your collection. Whether it's ensuring proper preservation, securing the right insurance coverage, maintaining accurate documentation, or understanding the legal aspects of ownership and resale, each of these components plays a critical role in protecting the value of your investment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who are interested in learning about the art investment process. Drop a comment below with any questions you may have or any insights you'd like to share. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.